Welcome, everybody, to Do Your Worst. I am James Perry.
I'm Mallory Everton.
We are your hosts for this podcast, and we have guest with us today.
I'm Jason Gray. Is that all you want? Just say
That's
our
all we
names.
want.
Okay.
Stop
Man of
talking.
mystery,
Right.
Jason Gray. All right. I am Stacy Harkey.
All right,
Okay.
so we are on this podcast where we celebrate failure, don't we, guys?
Yes, sir.
Embrace it.
Yeah, we write a lot of stuff. We all write comedy together, and sometimes we just write just bad stuff, just real bad stuff. And we even pitch it to each other because we don't realize how bad it is until we say it out loud.
I'm so nervous.
Don't be nervous.
That's what's different than like musical. Like if you're a singer, you're always going to be good at singing. But if you're a comedian, like you can do really horrible stuff and really good stuff. But a singer,
Yeah.
like they're never going to
That's
sing
true.
a song just like horribly if they're a good singer.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they get sick.
Might
I
have
guess.
a little
I would
voice
say-
crack in there.
Little frog in the
Maybe. Yeah, that's fair. But like, they're going to be consistently good. But man,
Yeah.
comedy's all over the
In
place.
comedy,
Especially
I
while
feel
you're
like,
writing it.
I feel like you can get really good at comedy and still fail a lot
Yeah.
in front of people.
I think I'm still in the like failure part. Like most of my scripts,
Oh man,
like 90% of them are like pretty consistently
Nah,
bad.
whatever.
And then, like, you get a 10%
Stacey
where you're
literally
like,
wrote something that was on NBC
doesn't mean it
2
was
nights
good.
ago
Yeah.
Have you
that
watched-
3
Have you
judges
watched
said
NBC?
was amazing. Whatever.
Well, as always, we want to encourage you guys.
yes,
Hey, if you got some stuff to share that will be really fun for us to read and frankly laugh at, send it to doyourworst@jkstudios.com.
send us stuff that other people send you. Send us stuff that is just so bad that it needs to
That
be
you-
celebrated.
That you
I
found
had
in your
a-
grandma's closet.
I had a girlfriend, well, not even a girlfriend, a girl that I went on like 2 dates with. She wrote me an 8-page letter.
Fine.
Front
Find
back.
that
we are
letter. That will
reading
be-
that
That will be
letter.
a special
Away.
episode.
Oh,
we are
man.
protecting her identity, but we
Yeah.
are
Oh,
of
reading
course,
that
of
letter.
course.
Okay, for today,
Oh, I
you
gotta
mentioned
find that.
singing, Jason, and I'm glad you did because I wrote this little sketch called Second Voice. This episode of Do Your Worst brought to you by Privacy.com. Right now, Privacy.com is offering our listeners $5 to spend on your first purchase. Stick around to see how you can get your $5 for free. And
Oh, I remember that.
I remember
yes,
I
this
do
is-
too.
I did
I thought
such
it
a
was a
good
smash
job
hit.
at doing this badly that I confused our group that we actually took it to a show and then cut it immediately after. because
Oh,
we
yeah,
realized,
that's probably
this
why I
is
remember it
So
more.
weird.
Yeah.
I feel like we
Anyways.
still quote it sometimes. I feel like not too long ago.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this one's called Second Voice. I'll read for James. Jason, read for Jason.
Okay.
Stacy, you want to read for Steven?
It's a
Yeah.
shorty.
Yeah, it's a short one, and I gotta get into this. Let's do it.
Stephen and Jason sit down to study.
Hey, I'm Steven. You must be Jason. All right, let's get this homework done. Have you looked at it?
I love it doesn't wait. He doesn't wait for a response.
I'm Stephen, you must be Jason.
Just gets right into it.
Let's continue.
I was kind of thrown off when I was reading it. I was like,
Yeah.
am I doing this right?
Oh, that was bad already.
Yeah, I've done the first couple problems.
Everything he says is a sung version of what Jason. Oh yeah,
Of what Jason said.
Okay,
I've done the first couple problems.
hold on. So let's just explain too.
Yeah.
Let's explain this because it doesn't say this in the script. James's voice is coming from off stage, while Stephen and Jason
Are on stage.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this voice is just coming from nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to your line, Jason.
Yeah. I've done the first couple problems.
I've done the first couple problems.
Did you do just that?
You mean
Did you just do that? Okay,
Did you
my
do just
typo.
that? I was like, did you
That's
do
a
just
typo.
that?
Did you do just that?
All right.
I'm reading all the typos as
Did
they
you
are.
just do that?
You know,
right?
That's my life course too. Typo. A good typo is.
Oh, that's Jason's job.
It's like Matt and a good slap. It just always gets me.
Yeah.
All right.
You mean problem number 2? No, I did it at home.
You mean problem number 2? No, I did it at home.
That was weird.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Did you not hear that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That right there. Someone is singing everything you say.
Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes.
Oh, that happens sometimes.
Wait, seriously? That voice comes out of nowhere. Well, why does that happen?
Well, I have this twin, and when we were born, he ended up with both our knees.
He ended up with both our
and I
knees.
ended up with both voices.
And sorry. Ended up with both voices.
The fact that you remember, that's exactly
That is how we did it.
years ago.
Yeah, the Whitney Houston.
Ended up with both voices.
I gotta be annoyed now. I'm sorry. And now the voice just follows you around, even when you're trying to study?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any way to turn it off?
No.
It didn't do it that time.
Oh, man.
It's honestly like very funny to me.
I think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, it has a lot of
I think it
potential.
was just like,
So
It's just
like the premise is funny.
It was a little weird.
Yeah. Just need a
I
little
have
more
this twin, and when we were
TLC.
born, he ended up with both our knees, and
Like
I
a
ended up with
disembodied
both our
voice
voices.
is
That's a
always
log line
fun.
right there. Let's make this.
And those
let's make this
sketches
show.
usually play really like fun live. Like
Yeah,
It depends.
Like
They
that.
could be hit or miss, but I think this one killed me.
Hold on.
man.
Let's go back to this line at the bottom. Well, I have this twin, and when we were born, he ended up with both our knees. So Jason doesn't have knees, right?
Oh wait, wasn't
That's
that part
why
of the?
true.
How do I sit?
I feel like didn't we in the sketch have him walk away, but like locked
Oh,
legged
yeah,
or
like-
something?
oh,
Like, he
yeah.
stood up and he was like,
That makes sense because you never really address that. It's like, oh yeah, I don't have knees, and he has two voices.
what I needed to hear.
There's too much going on is part of the reason.
I need
So
to know. Y'all must have escaped from the same like facility 11 was held in.
Oh
like,
my
weird
gosh, I know,
experiments.
right?
Like I need to know the backstory of how this happened.
So good,
That's
Oh my
my
God.
it's my contribution for the day.
very
that's
good.
great.
Second
Classic.
voice.
Yes.
You've done your worst. I love it.
Thank you. Oh, we didn't even say that to people in the last one. I guess it's not a
It
thing.
doesn't have to be a thing.
You have done your worst.
Will naturally. Things will happen.
Dun, 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 dun,
gosh,
your
guys.
worst.
All right.
I'm gonna
Okay.
find that
Well-
pre-law short story because
Um,
it is.
We're ready for it.
It's long, but it's.
And we want some good juicy juice from our guests. I gotta take a minute to talk about privacy.com. Do you know about that, Jason?
No.
Well, let me tell you, it is the safest way to buy anything anywhere online.
Okay.
How could that possibly be?
I don't know.
Well, you create an account for free on privacy.com. And when you go and purchase anything on any site, even some sites you're not sure about, it will create a virtual card instead of using your card.
Okay, but is it free?
Oh, it is free. It's beyond free. Right now, if you go to privacy.com/JKstudios, they'll give you $5 to sign up for free.
So it's like -$5.
Negative $5.
I
and
mean,
all of
pizza tonight.
Oh, pizza and every night.
Yeah.
So you'll be assured that every purchase you make, your information is safe. Go to privacy.com/JKstudios. Get your $5 today.
I'm done. Done.
To give a little background, it's called the Jimmer sketch Joker. So, for those of you who don't know, Jimmer Fredette was a college basketball player who played at Brigham Young University in the early 2010, 11, and he was like the most famous person on campus. I mean, he won
Yeah, he's
College
huge.
Basketball Player of the
He's
Year.
in the NBA now.
He was selected 10th overall in the NBA draft. So he was kind of like a god on campus. So we were at Divine Comedy at the time, and I thought, and Batman was, I guess it had been 2 years, but it was still big in my book. And I've
Has
combined.
Batman not been big in your
Yeah,
book?
that's fair. So I want to do a Joker. I just looked for excuses to do Joker sketches. There was a girl that had made fun of Jimmer somehow. I can't remember the story, but somehow she had said something about how she thought it was dumb how someone who just did put a ball through a hoop was so famous, even though there were people that had done way more significant things at BYU.
Wow. Okay.
And so everyone was giving her a really hard time. I think, and that's what the sketch, the purpose of this was to kind of rag on her. But I think by this time, people had made fun of her so much that by the time I did this sketch, I remember the audience, because we did it in a tech show.
Really?
They were not with it. They were
We've heard
too
this
mean,
already.
too mean,
Yeah.
Jason. So,
Ooh-wee.
Oh boy.
we'll see.
Let's do it.
So-
All right.
You want to cast it?
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll play the Joker. Let's see, Mal, do you want to be Michelle?
Yes.
And you're supposed to be the remember the Chinese guy on Dark Knight? The guy that he kidnaps,
No.
the Batman. Like he goes to Hong Kong, Dark Knight Rises. He goes and he gets the Batman. He's like the accountant for the mob.
Okay.
I love that. That's such an obscure character
she's a
that no
mobster.
one knows. It's like, you remember.
She's a mobster. She's the accountant, but she's Chinese in the movie.
I'm not going to do an accent, though.
That's fine.
Okay.
Fine. I'm just letting you know
Jason,
the
you need
background.
to understand what Jason's going for.
Let's see, James, you're
Okay.
the New Mexico coach, and then why don't you be Jimmer as well?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right.
I have assembled you all together for one purpose. We must do something about Jimmer for debt. I can't walk across campus without hearing Jimmer's name a bajillion times.
This is more than a million.
We must convince people that idol worship is frowned upon.
And just really, you know that scene on Dark Knight Rises, or no,
the-
Dark Knight.
With the Chinese.
With the where they're all when they meet the Joker the first time, all the mobs. So
Oh,
they're
yeah,
sitting
right, right,
around,
right.
and
And
then
he does the pencil trick?
and he does the pencil trick.
Okay,
We're
okay.
replicating that.
So, Michelle, your plan is to make people feel guilty about worshiping Jimmer. Isn't that a little self-righteous?
I am good with calculation.
Ha 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 ha. And I remember I totally missed my cue with this. And I came in like, because I was supposed to come out of the building or enter the building like the Joker does. He enters and he's like, ha ha ha. But I remember the door that I was supposed to come in on the side was locked. So I had to go run outside the Tanner building and go all the way up. And by the time I got in, I remember Matt just being like looking up at me like, dude, where have you been? So anyway.
And you're just like,
And I'm like, ha, ha, ha. And I thought my jokes were bad.
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't have my assistant coach here give you a noogie.
Very good. That's a
boy.
real punishment.
Oh, yeah. Want to see a magic trick? Joker pulls out a deck of cards and points at Jordan. Think of a card.
okay, I got it.
Is this your card?
Wow, that's it. How did you do that? Everyone golf clap.
I don't know where the joke was there, but let's just keep going. All right, let's wind the clock back a year. New Mexico, you were the best team in the conference. In Utah, okay, well, we'd have to wind back the clock 15 years, but you get the idea. Playing into the Utah rivalry.
Right.
It got a laugh, guys.
Say what?
Yeah. Why will we?
You're like, let the boy do his
I
worst.
love the
eh?
Utah rivalry.
Dude, and I'm back to the sketch. You're a freak.
Look, I know why you choose to show your little basketball games on the mountain. I know why you're afraid to put them on ESPN. The Jimmer. You see, the Jimmer has shown the nation your true colors, unfortunately. March Madness, it's just the beginning. And as for the television's so-called plan to make people feel guilty, the Jimmer fans have no conscience. They will find her and make her cheer.
What do you propose we do?
It's simple. We stop the Jimmer.
Everyone chuckles.
If it's so simple, why is he the leading scorer in the nation?
Your defense scheme sucks. You need to double team him.
We already have 3 people guard him every game.
No, I mean you need to combine 2 teams and have every man guard him.
That's brilliant. What do you want in return?
Half. Court seat to the Final Four.
You're crazy.
No, I'm not. I'm not. If we don't deal with this now, soon little Utah here won't be able to switch conferences to the Pac-10. I mean, I don't even know if the WAC will want you.
Who's Utah?
I don't know,
You
James.
could just make fun of my team and walk away.
Yeah?
Wait,
Enough
is this-
from the clown.
Is this the state of Utah? Or
No,
like
it's the University of
Oh,
Utah.
okay,
Okay.
gotcha. Like
Yeah,
a person?
Utah.
It
This is
just
the
says
U.
Utah.
Is it like the university is this one person?
Yeah, he was embodied by
Oh,
right.
person.
Okay, I like that.
Make fun of my team and walk away.
Yeah.
Well, so I
Enough.
lost my place.
Enough from the clown. Sorry, I'm reading.
Jonathan walks on stage as Jimmer. Everyone freaks out.
Ah.
Oh, it's him. Go away, he burns us.
I guess we're throwing in a
And
Lord of
there's
the
the
Rings.
Lord of the
reference.
Rings.
Classic.
I just need people to know that this says
Everyone-
Adam's line says to do your awesome girl scream.
That's pretty good, Stace.
Trying. Ride like the wind, bullseye.
Got to get a Toy Story reference in there.
Yeah.
All the coaches exit. Awkward silence. Joker is there just with the Jimmer. He says, "Want to know how I got these scars?
Not really.
Can I have your autograph?" That was rough.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of legitimate strategy in there. Like some coaches maybe should like seen the sketch. Like, use your chance to like
I know,
get your
right?
information
I
out
guess
there.
so.
Right? I think my favorite thing is that you You come in and you do a magic trick and there's no joke.
No, it's just a legit magic
no
trick,
joke.
I
It's
guess.
just like, wanna
I guess
see a
maybe
magic
that's
trick?
the joke that I actually do a magic trick.
Maybe that is what it is. Think of a card. Is this your card? Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's like, okay.
That's probably what it
It
was.
probably played really well.
So many
so
references.
good.
It's so
It's just a
reference-heavy.
walking
Oh, man.
reference
And
sketch.
you know what? If I've learned anything, it's that Gollum is timeless.
That was even old
love
when we
when he
did it in
comes back.
2010.
I know, right?
It's
But
like
yeah.
it's almost like we can't talk with how much Harry Potter we've done. It's
mean,
like
it's-
Harry Potter truly is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Timeless
but
in our hearts.
Everybody whips out their Gollum, and you're always
Oh.
like, "Oh man, we just really don't do that here anymore."
No more.
Don't
No
be hot
more.
on Gollum.
Oh boy.
Sorry, guys.
I
That
like
is-
the Rogue Toy Story reference too. like you were
Yeah,
saying.
ride like the wind
No.
bullseye. I think it was really like, I don't know, just like, especially when you're performing from a college crowd, I think my mentality was, oh, just give them references. They'll laugh at anything as long as they recognize it. But clearly they didn't,
It's
because that
true.
sketch got
I love
cut.
how to this day you still blame it on the fact that the audience was sick of hearing about that girl.
Yeah,
I know.
You're like, oh, it wasn't
It
my
was a
writing.
great
It was
she's
because
not really in
it's
it.
because
It
of
was
the
a
girl that
great
was in the
sketch.
first line. It's definitely what made the sketch go wrong.
I just remember that's how I made myself feel better at the end of the day, because I think it was it had least amount of votes, because we used to vote
really?
sketches in, and I was like,
man.
oh, it's probably because people like Michelle and that's why it wasn't. the best sketch of the night.
modern hero.
That's a legitimate part of the
American
process,
hero.
though. You constantly have to tweak the story that you're telling yourself when you like come up against some real criticism about your work. It's either like, oh man, I suck so much, or oh, that sucked so much, but I'm still good,
Right.
or some other nonsense
I think
that we
I've
tell
gotten
ourselves.
to the point now that I can just be like, oh, that sucked. I can move on.
I'm a writer,
But
and part
not
of being
then.
a writer
Not
is
then.
sucking sometimes.
Yeah, well, you just kind of have to
you
know. You have to know how to like. What do they call it? Kill your chicks or something?
Kill your darlings.
Your darlings.
Oh, that sounds better.
Kill your
I was like,
chicks.
Kill your
Kill-
chicks.
kill your
I think it's like
chicks.
baby birds.
Yeah,
I
Kill,
think-
you can just like stab,
I wasn't
kill
thinking
your
of
chicks.
people.
stab women.
But I was thinking of like you just have these little things that mean so much to you, and you have to get good at like taking criticism,
Yeah.
taking feedback, moving on.
Yeah.
This, especially in our world with sketch, where it's like this is like 5 pages max, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
When I was just reading, I just read Stephen King's book on writing, and it's so good. It's so good. But he was talking about how he whenever he finishes a book, it's
writing.
such a good
Nice.
book.
Called On Writing.
Have you read it?
No.
It's very worth your time.
I've started it.
It's really, really good. It's my favorite book on writing I think I've ever read. But he was just talking about how he always takes like 2 months after he finishes a book just to step away from it, so that when he comes back to it, feels like it was written by somebody else, and he can kill all the darlings without really feeling like they're his. And I feel like that's one of the benefits
Smart.
that we have too in a lot of ways. You step away from something for a couple of years, you can look at it with kind of more compassion, but also with more like more of a critical eye, and be
Yeah.
able to say,
Oh yeah.
I have no emotion attached to this anymore, and
Right.
can say this doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
you know what? Actually, there are some parts that worked okay, and good for that person in the past.
Where-
Little pat on the head for that person in the past. you
Where
know?
does the compassion come in? Where you see looking back with like more compassion? What do
Well,
you
I
mean?
think you often give other people more compassion than you give yourself. So like you look at an old script of yours and you can say, actually, I had a couple good ideas here if you were really hard on yourself at the time about it, that kind of thing.
I think with that sketch though, I don't think I'd take anything from that sketch. That's okay. That's what I'm taking away, is that
That's
I
what
wouldn't
you're taking
take
from it, is that you wouldn't take it.
I do feel like there are those two types, right? They're the people that like are like always criticizing their work, and they're like, I'm never good enough. And then there are creatives that are like way too confident in what they do.
I mean,
Like, "Ooh,
I'm
yeah,
really jealous of. To be honest, I often wish I was more of a narcissist, because I feel like I'd be accomplishing so much more. Because we talked about it on
With who?
Would you be so?
we talked about it in the past, but one of my biggest problems is that I will just like, I'll get 2 lines in and I'll just be like, no, I'm done. This is gonna suck. And I just like back off, or
It's true.
I'll write a draft and then bring it to you guys once and people don't laugh enough. And so I don't even try to fix it, So I just feel like I fall on the far end of that spectrum.
Yeah.
And I just have so much respect for people who are just like, bam, coming
They
out.
can, like, lead
so
with, like-
winging.
I feel
I'm
like-
always coming out
Yeah.
super meek.
I
And
feel like Jason's pretty good at that. With like, there's a few examples like the Breaking Bad sketch where it was like he brought it back like
10
5 or 6, 10
No,
times.
literally.
well, you
Very
believed in it,
confident,
but
yeah.
you should have,
But then,
like
like,
you
it
saw
turned
the
out
vision on
so
that.
good.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's
I was
that's
not
good stuff.
gonna. I don't know why. I think it was mostly. I just wanted to. I like that show so much, and I wanted to play that character so bad that I was like,
Whatever it takes.
It's just.
I
Gonna,
will make this
sooner or
work.
later. It's gonna happen.
I mean, it did.
I'm
It
the
paid
one
off.
who writes.
Sometimes you just have to be a warrior for your own work too.
That's
You know,
really good Jesse impression.
it's very good.
All right.
You guys killed it. Okay, a little Stacy.
I texted you guys one, but I think the one we should read is Gerald Goes to Heaven. That's in the email. It's just, I think, do you guys remember that one?
I think
I
I do. I mean, I have like a vague memory.
The
of
other one, I don't think any of you guys have seen. Okay, Gerald Goes to Heaven. Draft 3.
Yeah, he
the
does.
third draft,
See,
baby.
There's
All
less
right.
sympathy on draft 3.
Yeah, sympathy. Let's just know that I reworked this for many years. I don't remember how this goes. How about I'll read for Gerald.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have any preferences. Jason, do you want to read for Angel?
Sure.
Mal, do you want to read Relative? And James, do you want to do Stage Direction?
Yep.
Just right down the line.
Let's do it.
All right. Interior.
Interior.
Very good start. Interior hospital room day. A man, Gerald, lies in the hospital bed surrounded by.
That is not what it says. Just wanna say
Okay,
that was a
lies in
typo.
his hospital bed. I will read your typos too then.
Oh no, I do have a lot.
Stacy McTypo.
That's what they call me.
Stacy McTypo.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All through high
A
school.
man, Gerald, lies in his hospital bed surrounded by immediate family. The mood is serious, but not tragically sad.
Good to know.
It's my time. I feel it. Remember how much I love you all, and most of all that we'll be together again.
Gerald coughs and dies.
Strong start.
His family cries. Beautiful music begins to play as an angel in a white robe enters the room.
Gerald, are you ready?
Gerald wakes and sits up. His family never notices him or the angel.
So he's like dead, right?
Okay,
it's like
perfect.
a spirit reading. I am.
How do you want to move on to the other side? Because you have some options.
Angel hands him a card.
Oh, wow. Options?
Yeah, it's the new angel policy.
Gerald selects a card.
Well, I mean, let's do the everything goes soothingly numb.
Music starts.
You got it.
Do I need to do anything?
It's still you.
There's a.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
At this moment, his tongue goes numb, messing up his speech.
Oh, it thoughts in your mouth.
His neck goes limp.
Oh, that's awkward and a little bit painful.
Gerald, don't fight it. Just let it happen.
His right arm and leg limp.
Okay, this is scary. Stop.
Music and numbing instantly ends.
That was horrible.
Yeah, most people don't react that way, but that's okay. You have options. Can I suggest the option where everything goes peacefully dark, like you're falling asleep? It's like falling asleep.
It's like falling asleep.
Oh, okay, but I'm a little nervous in the dark.
The music begins and the lights begin to dim.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
As soon as it gets close to pitch black, Angel warmly puts his hand on Gerald's shoulder. Gerald swings at the angel, slapping him. The music stops and the lights brighten.
What was that for?
I'm sorry, I was mugged in the dark. That's how I ended up in the hospital.
Oh, well, that's completely fine. Is there another way you'd rather try?
Angel's really chill about it.
Fine.
That's completely
100%
fine.
normal.
Gerald checks the card.
Oh, though cliche, walking into the light sounds nice.
The music begins again.
All right, well, follow me.
An ultra bright white light shoots through the door. Angel calmly walks toward it as Gerald is instantly blinded in his bed.
Okay, I can't see. Where are you?
Just follow my voice and walk into the light.
As he climbs out of his bed, he bumps into medical equipment and family, tripping and stumbling until he composes himself, and in an attempt to exit smoothly, he confidently and firmly walks into the door frame.
Oh, my face.
Are you okay?
The light in the door goes out and the music stops.
It's a safety hazard. Someone could get hurt or die.
You're already dead.
Clever joke. Whoa. You didn't see that one coming. Right. Too soon. My body is like right there.
Gerald, many people every day make this journey without a problem.
I'm sorry. I've never died before, okay?
You're right. I apologize.
Such a nice angel.
Hey, Gerald! I'm sorry.
Okay. He's an angel. He can quickly forgive and move on.
I think it would be more of like a, you're right.
You're right.
I'm annoyed.
I apologize.
Don't
Is
worry.
there another
Nope.
way you'd like to try?
No
many
performance is
ways?
going to save this. It's not. It doesn't even
Gerald.
really matter.
Looks at the card.
Can we try a blink of an eye?
Music comes on.
Of course. Now stand close. All I'm going to do is clap my hands.
That's it?
The angel holds his hands.
Yes,
up.
sir. Oops. Yes, sir. 1, 2.
Wait, what does it feel like?
Nothing. 1, 2.
Wait! The suspense for the counting is killing me.
Okay, no counting.
Angel raises his hands, and right as he's about to bring them together,
Wait! Watching isn't helping either.
Then turn around.
Gerald
Really
turns
wrote a
around
doozy.
as Angel lifts his hands, and just as he brings them together,
Stop! I can't do this.
Gerald, I'm kind of on a tight schedule, okay? We've got to do this now.
This is really long, guys.
I love it though. I'm loving that it's continuing.
Let's try the last option.
Guidance by a relative is a favorite.
music comes on.
Oh, there's so many people I love and miss dearly. I
A
can't.
relative dressed in a simple white clothes enters.
You get out of here!
The relative instantly leaves.
That's fair.
There's no explanation. I think there's some really
Just
dark stuff happened, and you're just
The
supposed to
relative-
know.
Everyone's so subjective to Gerald. It's like, okay.
Gerald's in the driver's seat.
Oh, man. Gerald, get it together. You are a grown man, and I am this close to losing it if you don't stop right now, okay?
Pause.
I want to speak with your boss.
I'm done. Go back to your body because you're not going anywhere today.
Angel rushes out of the room. Gerald, excited, runs back to the bed and jumps into it, sitting up quickly.
I'm back!
He scares his family, causing his wife to swing, punching him in the face. The heart monitor instantly flatlines. Angel enters again.
my
Just
gosh.
come with me. We'll take the train.
That is 6 pages of pure bliss.
Yes.
There weren't even like side comment jokes about it. It was just like,
I love that he dies because he gets punched in the face.
his wife is strong.
Very strong, which we've established.
I wanted to do a take on like the different ways people are like dying is like walking into the light or like it's in the blink of an eye.
Oh, it's a solid concept
Yeah.
for sure.
Concept, yes.
Yeah.
The concept is like there's something
Where
there.
mine didn't even have a solid concept, so you got me there.
But
Was
you
a
had
parody.
references,
I had
James.
You had
References.
references. You had 4
Old
movies
references.
plus. My favorite was
Toy
still the
Story.
Chinese accountant dude. That's a solid. That's
Everyone
a
watch Dark Knight and you'll be like, oh,
I know.
again.
I
And
was
you'll
gonna
be
say.
like,
I bet you people
recognize
for real
the
that's
like.
funny. That's gold.
Oh man, but at least your sketch went quickly. This took
That
some time to get through.
6 pages.
I mean, you're taking it as many places as you
Yeah.
can go.
I
You got to
tend-
explore
I tend
it.
to do this thing though, where it's like I think I was trying to get like 3 to 5 movements, but I also do this thing where I put more in my scripts, so to see how people react and know.
Right,
what to like.
and then you pare them down
Yeah.
afterward.
Easy
But
to
that's a
cut and
double-edged
add.
sword.
Yeah, well, yeah, the risk is that you'll
It's
like
so long that it's like-
like people will be so like
be
out of it by the
Falling
end.
asleep, but
Yeah,
I want to know what that relative did.
I know.
Me too.
It must have been bad.
You should write a sequel
and they
sketch.
know it.
I
with just the
also
relative.
I also really like it's just a little nugget in the middle, but where you realize that he died because he got mugged. He's like an old man, but he's like, no, but actually,
You're like, I gotta make this joke work. Oh, you got died when he.
I think you could all tell like my dark sense of humor is always held right at bay. Like I probably would have been a little more savage. Like
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
he was ran over by like a city bus and then mugged by I don't know.
Yeah.
It was bad.
He was ran over by a bus down a flight of stairs.
Down.
He was flung into some stairs.
He was mugged off a cliff. It was bad.
I love it.
Gerald did not know.
Good stuff.
That's a
Good
Oh,
stuff.
sketch.
it's hard reading these again because I
Oh, my
remember reading it
goodness.
the first time and being like, yeah, no one really responded to that. And then to read it again, it's like, oh yeah.
That's what happened.
Should we stop?
Well, that was fun. We had so much fun that our fancy film light went out.
Woo!
But we are so pumped about this wonderful stuff that everyone brought today.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us on the show,
That was
guys.
a strong word.
It was
but
fun.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Remember to send in your submissions.
Yes.
Yes.
Submit anything. We'll take
And
everything.
don't worry, unless you want us to say your
Yeah,
name.
unless you want us to give you a
We
shout
won't
out,
say
we
it.
won't say your name. We totally get it.
Do your worst at jkstudios.com. Bye.
Goodbye.